Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I've forgotten my agenda in the car. Huh? Okay. San Miguel, are you ready?
Yes, Mr. Ola, I believe so. Like I said, I see Miss Cadena, and I know Mr. Kaysen, he's also on the line. So we have quorum. You can go ahead and get started, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our meeting on May the 25th, 2021 at approximately 5:33 in the afternoon. If we can please have a, I'd like to call this meeting to order. And if we can have roll call, please, I would appreciate it.
Juan Avila,
Present.
Mike Kazin,
Present.
Alejandra Cadena,
Present.
Angel Guerrero, he's pending his oath information, and Valentin Escamilla.
I'm surprised. We do have a quorum, it seems like that, Mrs. Parza. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, thank you. I know it's been some time, and moving on the agenda, we have minutes of approval for March 9th, 2021. Has anybody had time to gone over them? Mr. Kazin or
No,
Ms.
Mr.
Cadena?
Chairman, I have reviewed them. However, I don't remember if I was at that meeting or not. So I'm just gonna basically say that if there's no corrections, or if anyone that was there at that meeting didn't notice anything, then we'll just go ahead and move that they be accepted as presented.
Okay, the only discussion that I have on that one, and prior to this call, Ms. San Miguel and Ms. Parza, members of the board, I did get a call from Mrs. Rosie Centeno. She did send me screenshots of her trying on this last meeting and the previous meeting. She has been trying to log in, and she's been having a lot of issues, just like we did in this previous meeting that was scheduled. I do not know what are the alternatives that we can have on that. Can we present it back to, well, I know that if we go to legal, I know what they're going to say, because I believe we're on the fourth one, if I'm correct, Mrs. Parza, on Mrs. Centeno.
Correct.
Okay, so that would be, I know it's kind of hard, but like I said, she did send me screenshots, Ms. San Miguel. I do not know exactly which alternative we have that we can either try to get her back on board, but I understand that we had this issue once before already. So it makes it kind of hard on both sides of the board and the administration of the El Metro. Now, taking into consideration that last meeting was due to lack of communication, she would still be at her third. And is that an automatic strikeout, or is it on the fourth, the strikeout, Mrs. Parza? How is that on record?
I believe it's 4 absences, Mr. Avila.
Okay, so being that said, that we did have, Mrs. Parza, the I guess you can say the lack of communication as far as that we could not log in. A lot of us had problems. Is it possible that we can still keep her on board? If so, the board approves and it's okay with administration as well, or do we have to go back to legal?
I guess, Mr. Avila, you as the chairman will have to contact legal. We do not have that authority. We just go with the priority procedures
Okay.
as set forth by the city, and that's what we have to go by. So that
Would
would
that
be communication. If you want to make that recommendation to the legal department, you can do that yourself, of course.
Okay. Then members of the board and administration, I will be sending an email just for the record to try to get Ms. Centeno back on board due to the lack of communication, just to have it on record. I will send an email tomorrow and try to see if that can figure that out. With that being said, Ms. Cadena, do you have any questions on the minutes to approve from March 9, 2021?
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Okay, then, Mr. Vice Chair, you had made a motion to approve. Ms. Cadena? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I believe that was Mr. Kazin and
Yes.
Ms. Cadena. Okay, so move. Okay, public comments or citizens are required to fill
Mr.
out.
Chairman,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, just a point of inquiry or parliamentary procedure. Do you need a motion from the board to take it to legal, or?
being that it's my ways of looking at it, unless I'm corrected, I believe I can make a letter of intent if
Okay.
so
A
need to.
participant has joined the meeting.
Okay, somebody just joined us. We're okay still? Okay. I will present it to legal. If we need to bring it back to the board, then we shall do so. But I want to go ahead and make it out to them and see where we stand at.
Mr. Avila, I have a quick question. So when one of the members doesn't have a way to log on, or they have internet issues or something like that, that's what you're gonna present to legal for Ms. Centeno?
That is correct, Ms. Cadena. The thing is that she did send me the screenshots, ma'am.
No, that's
I'll
fine.
be
I
more than-
want to make sure that if it's done with Ms. Centeno, that you do it with other members so we won't have any problems.
No, believe me, if it's done for Ms. Centeno, it'll be done for everybody else as well. But the only reason that I am doing this one is because of the fact that if you recall on the last meeting that we tried here weeks back, we really were having issues getting connected. So that's why we had to reschedule this meeting. But I will do this one for her, and I will do it for anybody else. I mean, this has just got to be a better technology of us getting to be able to be on this meeting. But just for the record, Miss, I sent an email, and it was I was asked for us to be back on face-to-face, back to regular meetings, facing each other and, welcoming each other back after all this pandemic that's been going on. And legal has already responded to us. Thank you to Ms. San Miguel. She initially, we asked her and she asked legal. Legal has already responded, and we should be back on track starting in June, if I'm correct.
Yes, Mr. Avila, we're pending to find the location, but for sure it's gonna be in person, the next meeting. The only
Good.
thing that I wanted to mention on the priority procedures that govern all the committees, as far as for feature of, I guess, office in this case as a member, it's failure to attend the 3 consecutive meetings without being excused, go to the commission. So I'm trying to look for the reasons for removal, and like Ms. Sandy had said, it's 4. It could be 3 if they're consecutive. So just a comment on that. But
Thank you, ma'am.
but I guess if you send that email requesting that, we'll let him respond.
Yes, ma'am. And we'll take that into consideration as well. Thank you for the point of view.
Mr. Chairman? If
Yes, sir.
If If it's 3, I'm trying to remember if it's been 2 or 3 for me.
I
Because
asked,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, because it was what, March, maybe March, April, May?
Iselda, would you be able to clarify that for Mr. Kazin?
Yes, Mr. Kaysen, you have 3 absences, which was March, April, and May.
Okay, so if that's the case and we're looking at 3 consecutive, that means I'm out.
If
Point
there are
of-
3 consecutive, yeah, and again, this is the city priority procedures. And members automatically shall forfeit their appointed positions for the following reasons, and that's one of them.
Okay. So, okay, so in that case, if that's what we're going with, now I did, just for the record, I did call in to find out what my status was for that last meeting. But, I mean, I will respect, and if that's the case, then I guess pending some sort of clarification or interpretation of some other way, then I'm out and we no longer have a quorum. So therefore, any conversations that we have had may be problematic up to this point. So with that in mind, I am leaving the meeting and I thank you all. Mike Kazin
has left the meeting.
Okay, so we're back to square one. Ah,
Wow.
okay. Did anybody, I thought somebody else had joined, just for the record. I don't want to.
Yes, me. Because I was having trouble logging in again.
Mr.
Camilla.
Escamilla, thank God. Whew. Saved by the bell.
No, don't worry. No, that's how I was hearing everything. That's why I had my, because I'm at work, that's why.
No, that's fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You saved us. I see Miss San Miguel thumbs up. It's like, gracias a Dios. Okay, so we do have a quorum, Mrs. Esparza. Just to acknowledge Mr. Escamilla, it's 5:45 in the afternoon, and we do have we'll keep going. We do have a quorum at this point, being that Mr. Kazin is stepping out just to make sure that we're not in any violation of any protocols.
It's been acknowledged.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on along. Number 4, public comments. Citizens are required to fill out an online witness card no later than 5 p.m. and can be found at the elmetrotransit.com news info public meeting notices. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. No more than 3 persons will be allowed to speak on any side of issue. Speakers may not pass their minutes to any other speaker. Comments should be relevant to city businesses and delivered in a professional manner. No derogatory remark will be permitted. Do we have any public comments, Mrs. Barza?
No, I did not receive anything.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the next one, district reports. And Mrs. Barza, if you want to take over right there?
Sure. I will go over the ridership for the month of April. We had a total of 1,970 riders compared to last year, which was 1,601 riders. The cancellations report remained at 314 for the month of April. We had a total of 242 cancellations. Out of those 242, we had 161 cancellations that were made 24 hours in advance. We had a total of 81 late cancellations. We had a total of 62 no-shows and a total of 10 cancellations that were made through the phone. For the total trips for wheelchair customers for the Lyft department, we have a total of 26 trips for the month of April and a total of 206 wheelchair customers. For the fixed route mobility device boarding report, we had a total of 146 wheelchair boardings for the month of April. And for the end of the month registered customers, we had a total, right now we have a total of 663 active customers. For the month of April, we had a total of 8 new registered clients. And for the total month of April, we had 8 registered clients. So those are the reports for the Lyft department.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have any, moving along, do we have any reports from any district, Mrs. Esparza?
I can go by each district. District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5,
Not at the moment.
District 6, District 7, District 8. And for the mayor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, moving along. Item number 6, staff reports and communications, which I know you started on that one, Mrs. Esparza.
Yes, I got ahead of the game. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. We're good. Moving along, we're going into number 3, the budget report.
Mr. Villarreal will go over the budget report.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for the month, since we're going back for the month, our operations support administrative maintenance budget for the year is 35,193. Our expenses year to date have been 5,513, and our balance is 29,680. For fuel and lubricants, our yearly budget is 163,196. Our expenses year to date have been 62,937, and we still have a budget of 100,259. Our insurance, our yearly budget is 131,000. Our expenses have been 90,830 up to now, and our balance is 40,167. For our IT budget, we do have a budget of 33,185. Our year-to-date expenses have been 9,971, and our balance is 23,214. And for personnel, we do have a budget of 1.4 million. Our expenses have been 605,000, and we do have a remaining balance of 807,000 for the rest of the year. We're still looking good on our numbers.
Mr. Villarreal, and that's the amount up to date, correct? Not up to the
Not up to date.
Up to date. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Just looking at the numbers, and I was like a little throw off. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
up to date. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments from the board? Mr. Escamilla or Ms.
No, sir. Everything good?
Ms. Cadena, any questions? I don't know, Ms. Cadena is probably on mute. Is she still on, Mrs. Esparza? I happen not to see her.
She's still on. Her name is on there, Mr. Avila. I know she's on mute. I'm not sure if she might be having technical difficulties, not sure.
Okay, we'll move along. We'll go with El Metro's outreach report.
That report will be given by Ms. Ibarra.
Good afternoon. This is Ms. Ibarra. We did go ahead and did 3 outreach. We went and left packages at the public library, Doctor's Hospital, and Ace Cash Express. Thank you.
Ms. Ibarra, can you just a question. El Metro's outreach report. Okay, you're outreaching, you're leaving information. Can you just dialogue a little bit on that?
Yes, we do. The only thing is that right now we cannot do a one-to-one person, or we cannot set up a little table so we can interact with the people. So I just, I have to go and leave the packages there so they can distribute to the people.
And out of all the,
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
We're hoping next month we can set up a little table so we can interact with the clients and give more information on a one-to-one base.
Okay, and just an observation. Let's say you left some at Texas Discount Furniture, and I'm just using up a name.
Okay.
And do you put a certain do you put like a number? Okay, Texas Discount Furniture number 5 or number, something that let's say Miss San Miguel for instance goes there to Texas Discount Furniture. She needs the ridership from El Lift, and she applies through there. How do we know where this application is coming from? Do we are there certain guidelines through it? Do you have some way of saying, okay, we dropped up this information at Texas Discount Furniture. We got 2 clients from there. So yes, it's a positive one. Maybe we should leave more, or maybe, go back again and drop off some more paper, some applications, I'm sorry. Do we have some way to track it? I guess that's the question I have.
No, I don't know. Miss Sandy maybe can elaborate on that.
Ms.
Our
Parza?
applications don't have, referred by. Most of the time, customers do not fill that portion out. Or I can check right now if it does have that capability to add that. So you want to.
I hope I'm not asking for too much, but I'm just trying to, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know we're spending money because, of course, the paper is money and it's costly, but I'm just trying to figure out, where do we get more applicants from, feedbacks, and that, that they apply instead of just dropping up and wasting, time, money as far as paperwork. I just want to make sure that we get some sort of feedback from that place, just to be on the safe side. I just don't want to go drop up anywhere y luego que, pues, we don't get nothing back. They wind up in the trash or what have you.
I guess we can take that into consideration, Mr. Avila. Obviously, we do not have a method to track that currently. We are still operating under unprecedented times. I mean, we're trying to outreach to individuals, put out the information for anybody that might need the service. So again, at this time, we don't have a way to track. We can try and look for a way to do it. So we can possibly report, not for the next immediate meeting, but possibly for the August meeting, for us to come out with an idea on how to track where might we be getting those referrals. What I know, my experience, most of the referrals come from medical offices, clinics and the likes, but that's as much as I can say. But we'll look into that, see what we can do to kind of sort of track the effectiveness of what we're doing today. But again, like I said, we're still operating under different norms. Like Ms. Ibarra expressed, once everything opens up and we get into a more normal, I guess, flow of visits, we'll be able to get a little bit more feedback from those places that we're visiting. I mean, and of course, we're set for the city to open, and this just happened a couple of weeks back. So we're waiting for businesses, for clinics, for offices, for public libraries, for the rec centers, so we can go back to our regular activity and outreaching elderly and disabled population. I mean, we had those visits to the rec centers. We had those visits for LMC, where they have the senior circles and the likes. All of that it's still shut down as we speak. So for the past several months, we're trying to outreach different businesses, private clinics, dropping off information. just trying to create an awareness for residents that might need the service. So again, not for this June meeting, but possibly for July, we can present you with a plan to try and track referrals. So we'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. San Miguel. Mrs. Parza, would you need a motion on that so we can go ahead and put it on the table?
For reports, or what would you be making a motion for?
To be looking for a way of tracking the applicants, where we're getting more feedback from or more applicants from. Would you need a motion, or are you able to bring out the report as Ms. San Miguel stated?
Yeah, that would be fine.
The way Ms. San Miguel stated?
It's up to the
I just don't want to.
committee to make that determination, Mr. Avila.
Mr. Escamilla, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess you heard, I'm just trying to make sure that we have like I was saying, if we drop off at Texas Discount Furniture, and I'm just using that name that came up to my head for whatever reason, I just want to track what we are delivering out there, who gives us more clients. And I know we're not playing a competition or anything. We just want to know which establishment is giving us more. Gateway, Texas Discount, rec centers. I just want to make sure that we have some sort of ways of saying, okay, mira, Gateway Clinic has, given 10 applicants, and out of those 10, everybody has qualified. Texas Discount, pues nomás nos ha dado uno, so there's no sense in going back and I guess throwing paper away and time and effort. I just want to make sure that we try to get feedback from, who's helping us out more, because we want to, the numbers of the passengers, I wanted, to hit, as sky high as we can. That's just my ways of looking at it, because that's what the service is for, to try to help our community out. I don't see, if I can have some feedback from you on that.
Right now, I don't have a comment right now, sir. I can't respond to that right now, sir.
Okay, but do you think, would it be a great idea to bring out, some sort of tracking? Do you think you think they would be a positive thing?
Yes, to keep track with everything that's coming in and out, and to build more.
Okay, Ms. Cadena?
Mr. Avila, I don't
Mande.
see Cadena on the screen anymore, so I'm not sure
Oh, boy.
what happened.
Yes, Mr. Avila, I have the host screen, and yes, she's not in the on the call anymore. We can give it a couple of minutes, see if she reconnects or something.
Yes, let's go ahead and halt. Mrs. Parza, is there any way you can communicate to her?
Let me see if let me get her phone number. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Mr. Avila,
Go ahead, ma'am.
she is trying to log back on. She doesn't know what happened to her phone. It just
I'm
she
back. I'm
just got
sorry.
off. Oh, okay, there you go.
Thank you, Ms. Cadena. I didn't notice that you were offline. I don't have everybody on the screen. I'm on my phone, so I can't see everybody who's on there for a minute. Okay, we were discussing, continuing on, we were discussing the issue, Ms. Cadena, and I had, I don't know if you heard the whole conversation that I had done with Mrs. San Miguel and Mrs. Parza. Did you hear it by any chance?
I don't think so. I just heard part of it, but not all of it.
Okay, what I'm trying to establish is, I'm trying to get some sort of feedback to where the El Metro is dropping off applications. Let's say, like I was saying, let's say a Texas Discount Furniture or Gateway Clinic. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, where are they picking up more applications from? Gateway, Texas Discount. I'm just trying to get a tracking record so we can have and acknowledge it that, hey, you know, Gateway is giving us a lot of clients. Let's go out there and reach out to them. Let's get them more applications. You know, let's visit them more often. What is it that we can do to accommodate more of our community members? I'm just trying to get some input from it. So I don't know. I was trying to get a motion to where we can ask the staff from El Metro to present us with something on the July meeting, because I know June is right around the corner. So maybe by the July meeting, they can present us with some sort of a plan as far as, like Ms. San Miguel was saying, how can they track it or find a way to see if they can track it?
Yeah. Is there any way they can track it?
Well, that's why I'm asking for a motion so they can go ahead and start working on it to where Ms. San Miguel can, you know, get with staff and say, you know, let's look at it, you know, let's find a way of how we can do this. So they can show us in the July meeting, not the June one, but the July, because I know it would be very little time for this June meeting that we're coming up right around the corner per se. Is that something that you would agree with, Ms. Cadena?
To be honest with you, not right now. Like, it's something that I need to really look into.
Okay. Okay. And we'll just go ahead and leave as it is, since we only are 3 members and I would need a majority of us. So moving along, Mrs. Parza, if you want to go over to revenue, back to the reports on revenue vehicle maintenance report, please.
Yes, let me go over the El Metro, the ELIF maintenance status report for the ELIF vans. For the miles traveled for the month of April, there was a total of 15,575 miles, and all the performance maintenance inspections were 100% on time. There was a total of 2 road calls for the ELIF department, and the miles between road calls were 0 miles. So that's the status report for the ELIF department.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
That's 5. Now we're going to trying to figure out where the other one's at. 5, 6, 7, no, 6. Okay, discuss. I believe from this one we're going over to, and that would be all for the staff reports and communications. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Mrs. Parza, am I correct?
Yes, correct. It's correct.
Lost your speaker there for a minute. There we go. I'm sorry. Okay, we're moving along. We'll go with, oh, I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to approve the staff reports and communications presented by staff? Ms. Cadena, Mr. Escamilla, please.
Yes, sir. I approve it.
Yes.
Okay. Call for the motion, and there is a motion on the floor, and it is approved first by Mr. Escamilla, second by Ms. Cadena. All in favor, signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Moving along, we'll go to discussion with number 7, discussion with possible recommendation, and that was the report on a month-to-month insurance payment contract.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Avila. On this one, I know there were some conversations and I guess what I'm gonna ask is for a clarification as to the specifics on the information required for that item.
Okay,
I think that item was requested by Ms. Centeno. She just wanted to make sure we would have, I guess, enough funds for the insurance for the rest of the fiscal year, which we do, Mr. Avila. Our insurance are paid in percentages. We do have different departments, so it's fixed route, paratransit. As far as funds wise go, as Ms. Amin has mentioned before, insurance rates have gone up. But to be worried that we won't have enough to cover our insurance payments, that will never be the case. Either we transfer funds or whatever, but we will never run into an issue where we will not pay our insurance premiums per month. So I think that was the question Ms. Centeno had, that she wanted to make sure we had enough funds, and which we will, and we do, and we will always will pretty much have enough funds to pay our monthly premiums.
Now, just a quick question, Mr. Villarreal. Do you allocate from one budget to another within the same with the funding in full? Do you allocate from one? Let's say you take away. I'm just asking, just clarification. Let's say you take away from technology to put into the insurance. Is that the way it works with y'all?
Yes, we will just find different line items where we might foresee we might have extra funds. Not necessarily extra funds to spend, but where we might see, this year we didn't spend as much on IT. Then from there we'll go ahead and transfer out and transfer into insurances.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that, Mr. Escamilla or Mr. Escamilla?
No question.
Okay. Moving along to the next one, it's discuss with possible modification of the PAC monthly meetings, date and time. As it is, I know, and let me be the first one to say that it's very, very hard to everybody. Like, for instance, Mr. Escamilla, I know he's still at work and he takes, his lunch break at this hour to attend to this meeting. We are volunteers and we are trying to, help the community out. That's our main goal, which is also the main goal of the staff and administration. But due to the fact that I think I would say, and I would vote on it, that we stay the same at this time. I wouldn't want, and I'm looking at the whole scenario. Per se, I know Mrs. Esparza, they go in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Here it is 6 o'clock and they're still at the office. I am one of those that I feel, more than 8 hours, it's a very, very long day. Yes, it's not an everyday situation, but when you're in an office, sometimes it does become not a 40-hour situation, but a 60-hour situation per week. So I wouldn't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable by saying, well, let's do the meeting at 6 or 6:30. I think it's hard enough as it is just to try to get a quorum going at this particular time and on the dates. So I myself, I will recommend that we stay the same. We do not move the dates or the time. But then again, that's just my recommendation. I still need to ask Ms. Cadena and Mr. Escamilla their thoughts, and we'll take a vote on that. So I'll pass it over to Ms. Cadena first.
Mr. Avila, I'm sorry. Can you hear me, Mr. Avila?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
It's because I'm losing a lot of signal. I'm sorry.
You're fine, ma'am. You're fine. what are your thoughts? I think she's muted as far as I can see. Let's jump over to Mr. Escamilla. Mr. Escamilla, what are your thoughts while Mrs. Cadena gets back on?
I would say let's stick the same time every second of the Tuesdays, because that's like how Mr. Avidal was saying. I do take my lunch breaks right now at this time because I work sometimes at the evening, sometimes I stay long, so I do double shift. So that's the reason I would stay here at this time because it's a better time for me. So I agree with Mr. Avila with that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Escamilla. Ms. Cadena, are you back on?
Mr. Avila, can I make a comment while we reconnect with
Yes.
Ms. Cadena?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, just and again, just for information, and I've been referring back to the priority procedures for meetings. And when it talks about required meetings and attendance, it talks about commission boards and committees appointed by council shall meet at least 3 times per year. So with that in mind, I mean, and again, it's dual decisions. Do you want to do these meetings monthly or maybe every other month? I don't know if that will help for those with busy work schedules. So what I'm trying to say is we are not required to meet every month.
Month to month.
You can make a decision and say we can meet, on odd months or on even months, whatever works best. And the only other observation recommendation for those with different work schedules, I know the airport committee, they meet I believe every month like we've been trying to do, but one of the meetings is in the afternoon and the other meeting it's right at noontime when everybody's supposed to be eating. So maybe that will make things easier. Traditional work schedule, most people should be available at noon. But again, it's for your consideration. You can do one at noon and the other one in the afternoon. So that might help. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's what I know the airport do. They do one at noon and then the following in the afternoon. So
now let me ask you, Ms. San Miguel, could it be done quarterly?
It could be done quarterly. It could be done on odd months or on even months. Like I said, that way we all know, oh, wow, it's an odd month. We're going to have pack meeting. It is what it is. Or we can say, let's do it quarterly, the first month of the quarter, January, April, and so on and so forth. The first month of the quarter. That way it's set in everybody's mind. We all know what to expect, within that quarter. So, and that's something that, again, recommendations to try to make sure that we secure quorum from now on. But again, options for you. I just want to throw that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. San Miguel. And that is something really, I'm glad that you brought that up, Ms. San Miguel, because you are right on that. I mean, we are having a hard time getting a quorum, and we're having a very difficult time, to be honest with you. It's disappointed, but it's something that we live and learn, and we got to continue going forward and don't give up. I'm not the best chairman that you've ever had, and I know there's been other ones better maybe ideas or stuff, but we're trying to go with the flow as much as possible and continue moving forward and moving with y'all administration going forward. I love the idea of, I would like to bring it up again to Ms. Cadena and Mr. Escamilla. I would love the idea of going quarterly. We know that it might take a little bit longer at that quarterly meeting, but we know that we could probably assure ourselves of having a quorum for that date, and knowing that it's something that we must be ready and set a date and time for ourselves, to make sure to be present for it. That way we won't have to have, like, for instance, right now we're having this meeting from 2 prior months ago. That's just You know, it's unacceptable, to be honest with you. And I understand all of us have emergencies, all of us have things that come up at the last minute, but we also got to think that we took an oath and we took a commitment, you know, that we must try to fulfill our commitment to the best possible. So with that being said, still waiting on Ms. Cadena. Hopefully she's back on.
I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Cadena, your interpretation, how do you, we're saying discuss and possible modification of the PAC monthly meeting, date and time. I guess you heard
Yeah, I do
my
agree
say
with a
so and
quarterly
Mr.
meeting that would
Escamilla's, but then I also want to hear your interpretation and what do you think about what I just spoke on the quarterly? I mean, it's hard enough as been it is. Are you there, Ms. Cadena? Ms. Cadena? She's not on mute.
I know, Mr. Reyes, she's not, I heard that she was saying that she was in agreement, but then it got cut off, so.
Are you there, Ms.
Can you hear
Cadena?
me?
Yes.
Yes. I had said that I agreed to the quarterly meetings.
Okay. Mr. Escamilla, your thoughts on that?
I agree with the idea that we should stick with. It's the same topic, right? The one for having the meetings on Tuesday and at this time. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir. Except being to the point that we are having a hard time meeting because of quorum. As you can see right now, we have two of them that are, you know, out due to the attendance problem, and you know, sticking you know, to the facts that Ms. Cadena, yourself, and myself have been the ones that have been, you know, really pushing as far as being present. And I'm not saying anything out of context that the other board members are not, you know, trying to be there, but since they have those absences and it does hurt, I would strongly recommend that we go with the quarterly meeting. And, you know, we know for a fact that at that time, we're going to set that date for PAC meeting. That's going to be Paratransit Advisory Committee Day, and we're going to have to be there. I mean, we just have, yes, I mean, like I said, we understand emergencies come up, but we're going to set our calendars per se. This is May, August 10th per se. That's going to be our next meeting. Okay. We're going to separate that on our calendars. Everybody will, and I know staff and administration would work with us. Okay, this is the date that we're going to set it for. Set it aside, ladies and gentlemen. You know, make sure that you're present because your presence is always, you know, wanted, so we can meet quorum and we can meet our deadlines and our reports be, you know, up to date.
Yeah.
So I would strongly ask the board to please consider and moving it over to quarterly meetings.
Okay, I approve that. I approve that, sir.
Okay, being said, Ms. San Miguel, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion, and I'll need a motion from the board. We have one, and I need a first and second, please.
Oh,
Mr. Escamilla, and
can you hear me?
I second.
yes, I hear you, Mr. Escamilla. Ms. Cadena?
That's no problem.
Yes, I second.
Thank you. Second by Ms. Cadena. Any discussion?
Chavela, just for clarification, we're gonna agree on quarterly. You wanna say the first month of the quarter?
Yes, the first month of the quarter.
First month, first Tuesday.
First month, first Tuesday, correct.
Excellent, thank you.
So with that being said, motion carries. We'll be moving over to quarterly meetings. Now, just for clarification, are we going to go ahead and make it, since we put it on the floor already and it's been approved? So we're going, so our next meeting will be when, Ms. San Miguel, if I'm correct?
I will say,
Would it be September? I'm not sure.
it will be July. It will be the first month of the third quarter. So it will be July,
July, okay.
and then
July?
June, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then it's gonna be October, and then January.
So it'll be July, October, right?
Yes,
Okay, so the first Tuesday of July and the first Tuesday of October.
correct. So the meetings will be held on January, April, July, and October.
Okay,
And of course, Mr. Aguilar, you are the chairman. If you identify a pressing need, you can always contact and we can try to, if needed, a pressing situation, we can always schedule like an emergency meeting if needed. You will still have that available.
yes, and that's just in case we happen to run into some issue or something, we can always go ahead and ask for an emergency meeting.
Correct.
Now, gracias a Dios que we haven't had to.
Sure. Yeah, just wanted to clarify that. So our next immediate meeting will be for July.
That is correct. July, the first Tuesday of July, that will be our next meeting.
Yes, and hopefully that will enable us to clarify the situation with Mr. Kaysen, Ms. Centeno, and the one person that needs to go through the oath of office.
The swearing in.
So that will definitely allow us that additional time. Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, with that being said, we're moving along. We have nothing for executive session. Am I correct, Mrs. Parza?
Correct, Mr. Avila.
Okay, moving along. Any discussion from the board? Any comments?
I'm good.
No, sir.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn.
I approve it.
Mr. San Miguel? Ms. Cadena?
Yes, sorry, I'm losing signal.
That's fine. Second by Ms. Cadena. No discussion. So approved. And it is 6:25. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ms. San Miguel and Mr.
Thank you.
Esparza and everybody on the staff. And we'll be seeing you.